Welcome into the Beat Sessions. I'm your host, Mitchell Weary. We are looking at the major label debut from harpist Brandee Younger, entitled Somewhere Different. She released that on August 13th. I absolutely love this album title. It's exactly where my headspace was at this morning when I woke up, started working on the channel. It is a beautiful day in Tucson, Arizona, and so I just wanted something inspiring, something different that would just take me away, help me enjoy this day. And as I started looking at my list of new releases, I saw Iggy Azalea, and I don't even want to go there. And I saw Dan and Shay. I'm like, ugh. And I just kept going down this list feeling very uninspired until I got to Brandee Younger, a name that I'm familiar with, but haven't really spent any time listening to her at all. I recently got into jazz probably about 4 or 5 years ago. Had a couple of really solid friends that have kind of held my hand through this process, showing me their favorite musicians. Brandee Younger was mentioned by a couple of them, and I just dropped the ball. I never got around to listening to her. So the moment I saw her name, the moment I saw the title of this record, I knew immediately that this was the album that I needed to listen to today. And she is remarkable. You don't necessarily think of the harp when you think of contemporary music, but the way that she's incorporating her classical background, she started playing when she was a teenager, so she's been playing for about 25 years now. She has her classical background. Alice Coltrane is a major influence on her. She's worked with her son Ravi, who's an incredible saxophonist as well, son of John Coltrane, so it kind of makes sense. But Alice Coltrane, one of the few jazz musicians to incorporate the harp into the genre, and so it's really cool to see how Brandee has taken that influence and kind of done her own thing with it, and then all the other different things that are going on as far as funk, R&B, hip-hop. You know, there's a big-time Latin influence on the title track, Somewhere Different, so it's really cool to get that feeling. You got kind of a trap influence driving that track as well. It's just remarkable listening to her, and when you think about all the different musicians that she's had the privilege of playing with over the years, because she's not like this super high-profile musician. I mean, she's an educator, she's a concert curator, she's definitely one of those, I would say that she's very high-profile as far as the jazz community and scene is concerned, but, you know, she's not one of those people that's looking to, like, sign big record deals, hence her first major label release after almost a quarter century. It's pretty crazy to think about it. But she's worked with, you know, Ravi Coltrane, Pharoah Sanders on the jazz end, Lauryn Hill, Common. She's worked with The Roots, all these incredibly diverse artists. And so it's no wonder that she's able to take all these experiences and blend them the way that she has. I don't want to overanalyze this record too much more because it's one of the things that she talks about in an interview. She wanted to make a record that people could just chill and listen to, not something that jazz aficionados would overanalyze. And I think that's the cool thing about this record is that for those people that aren't necessarily into jazz, I think you might find this music very approachable and very fun to listen to. The song Pretend especially is the one vocal track on here. It's got this great R&B feel. Terriona Ball, I believe is how you say her name, but just an incredible appearance from her. Just love the vocal element on this song. And, you know, Brandee talks about that as well as far as instrumentation. Sometimes the vocal element is just exactly the thing that you're looking for in a song. And so I like her approach to music in that regard, and that, you know, she wasn't looking to just necessarily make an instrumental record. It was just about what worked once I got into the studio and started the songwriting process. So you can definitely tell that she's just one of those really strong organic songwriters. I love that about her as well. The musicians on this record: Alan Mednard on drums, Rashawn Carter on bass. Tenor sax was played by Chelsea Barretts, who incredible on this record, especially the opening track, Reclamation. She is just killing it on that song. Maurice Brown on the trumpet, Annie Drummond on flute, and Marcus Gilmore in drum programming. Everybody just killing it in their respective field of instrumentation there. I mean, all of these musicians were phenomenal on this record. And if their performance wasn't enough, you want to talk about classic jazz performers. Ron Carter makes an appearance on this record on Beautiful as Black and Olivia Benson. That's right. The one and only Olivia Benson from Law & Order SUV. Title of the track. But Ron Carter, if you're not familiar with this guy, over 2,200 session credits. That's the most of any bass player of all time. Think about that. That is insanely prolific. 2,200 sessions. Probably my favorite bass player of all time. As I've gotten into jazz, as I've listened to the genre more, and as I've listened to him more in particular, he's just remarkable. He's 84 years old, absolutely killing it. It's just the icing on the cake for what is a beautiful project. Vinyl Please on this record. really just check this thing out. Find yourself in just any kind of adventurous mood, and this is going to be the record for you. So I hope you enjoyed listening to this. Please like this review, share it, subscribe to the channel, and check out the live show when it returns on September 12th. And we will see you next time on the Beat Sessions.